Remember to record now that I've said that I'm going to record. Yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for putting in your time here for yourself, hanging out with me. I'm going to do my very best to stick to my time. It's not my strength, but I do have a clock here, and I'm going to be more diligent and, I really want to get through the information for you to be able to witness when comparison is kind of creeping in, and give you some action steps and that sort of stuff to for you to be able to stop it. Who's up for that? Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. And so, because of my time management skills, I do have notes, and so I will be using those because I do love to go down rabbit holes as well. And so, welcome to everyone. So, this micro masterclass on how to overcome comparison, which is a confidence killer. And I just, those beautiful morning reflections when you're in the shower or in the water or whatever, and you go, oh my God, yes. When we do that, when we do the comparison, we just end up, not speaking to ourselves very well, not treating ourselves very well. And so, I do this myself still. And funnily enough, like even last week when I was not, I was just really tired and I was scrolling through Facebook and it's looking at all these beautiful people doing amazing things. I'm like, fuck, why am I doing that? And it was so funny because I'd already, put that I was doing this. And I went, isn't that interesting that, when you, and especially for me, teaching this kind of stuff, that I actually have the experience usually before this happens as well. So I just kind of, witnessed myself and went, okay, so what's my advice to myself, to my clients? Let's do that. So I was able to stop it in its tracks, and change my mindset. So we're going to hang out here for the next kind of hour or so, because just drawing attention as to how the comparison does creep into our lives, and then being able to take action on that awareness to then become aligned, to our gorgeous divine selves. And so, it's beautiful to be able to reclaim your power, to reclaim that beautiful essence inside you that just, it doesn't thrive when we compare ourselves to each other, other people, who we were yesterday or 12 years ago or whatever. And so if you want, you can grab pen and paper, take notes, grab some water. Like I said, this will be recorded anyway, so I'll be posting this into the group for you to watch later on if that works as well. And so I'm going to share my screen. Where are we? I think it's this one. Beautiful. And hopefully, how do I pin myself? Oh no, I am plugged in. So
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah.
that's all right, cool. So you can see me?
Yep.
Excellent. You can see this comparison, the confidence killer, the virtual micro class. And if I can just mute if I can just do that. Beautiful. I will pin me. I just learned all this new stuff that I can do on this Zoom stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Excellent. That's very helpful. Okay, so how to get the most out of this little micro class. So it's really cool if you just don't have any distractions. If you've told people in your household that just, give me an hour, just educating myself. And so no TV, no phone. Yep, my phone's off just to be sure. No other tabs open or Facebook or anything like that, because you've obviously shown up for a reason for doing this for you. So, first step is like, you know, liking yourself, and honor that self, honor yourself this time and this space. So give 100% of your attention for the full, well, hour. It was originally 90 minutes, but I cut it down. You know, if there's anything that you want to share, write in the chat box there. If you want to communicate within yourselves or whatever. If I do miss comments and stuff, I do apologize, because sometimes they can come through and I don't see them. So that's all fine. All right, this is the ascension model that I just briefly like to talk about. But yeah, so it's just basically how you found me on social media. So how do you know me, or how have you worked with me before? I mean, I know all you guys, so that's probably self-explanatory. But yes, so we sort of start here for anyone that's wanting personal growth or spiritual development. You know, these are really cool little increments just to kind of get a little taste as to who I am and how I work. And so I am Emily Pettigrew. So for those of you obviously who are here, but those who are watching the recording who don't know me, I own Divine Energy Alchemy. I'm a confidence mindset coach, specializing in guiding women to develop a deeper and more conscious relationship with themselves. And that's, you know, it's one of my most things that I totally love. And this is a big step in, you know, in having confidence with yourself and being able to drop that comparison. Because a beautiful side effect when you know, like, and trust yourself, and you know who you are, then your relationships with other people, with the world outside of yourself, just becomes more divine. You get more clarity, and you just know your place in the world, and there's so much confidence that bubbles up from that. Yeah, I love sharing. I love empowering others. I love being in little communities that, you know, motivate and inspire everyone just to be their fullest self, like their most best, gorgeous, divine selves. And so, yeah, I just really love working with people and opening them up to realizing and fulfilling their own potential. And so, you know, 15 years ago, I had no idea who I was. And so a lot of my clients are a reflection of me, or where I used to be, that they feel lost or confused, or they're just going, how the hell did I get here? And how do I get out? How do I become happy again? Like, how do I love who I am and what I'm doing and what I represent in the world? And so that was totally me, you know, 15 years ago. Didn't know how to get off the hamster wheel, didn't know who to look up in the yellow pages to kind of go, help me find myself. Not that that was necessarily what I knew that I wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted more from life. And so this is where I love guiding, you know, my clients and people to be able to step into that realm of things, that they love their life, and they're happy. They're happy. And that just wouldn't have happened if I had stayed where I was. So it was about being curious, getting curious, and taking action. Like, you know, if anyone's worked with me before, I talk about, you know, having the awareness, but it's the taking the action, taking that positive action to then, like, set you in that beautiful path of alignment to wherever you want to go, whatever you want to feel. And so my mission here on this earth is to help raise the vibration or the consciousness of the world. And what a better way to do that is to raise the vibration and the consciousness of people. That kind of just makes sense to me. And so, you know, finally admitting to myself, probably in my 30s, that I was really unhappy. And I realized that there were areas in my life that just needed extra loving. And for a long time, I was expecting the father of my kids to give me this. So I was seeking externally. And then when I realized that I couldn't rely externally on that sort of stuff, I started my regular spiritual practices. So I was put in contact with this beautiful spiritual teacher. And, I just realized that it was up to me. It was up to me to change my mindset, to change my actions, to change how I acted and reacted in the world. And I know that sounds, sometimes that can sound really hard, but oh my God, it's so freeing at the same time. Because then, no one else gets to actually change how you feel or take over how you feel or anything like that. And so there became my journey of really knowing, liking, and trusting myself, because I really didn't have any of it. Didn't know, didn't like, didn't trust myself. And so I really set out to be that vibrant person that I was, in my 20s, just fun-loving and carefree and didn't give a shit what anyone else kind of thought, within reason, without being malicious, of course. And so I have worked really hard to build up my confidence, to learn more about myself, the way that I ticked, what my triggers were, how I acted and reacted, and how I could do it differently. I just became really curious, basically to the whole, how the brain works and how humans work and all that kind of stuff. And so I really dove headfirst into just exploring everything. And so I attended spiritual development classes every week for about, 3 years. And she was just able to offer my teacher was able to offer me so many teachings and experiences that just led me to get even more curious and thirsty for topics which enabled me to be able to help myself, like physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's how Cherie and I actually met, which was really cool. We did spiritual development classes together so many years ago. But it was just, it was a game changer for me, just to find someone that I could trust outside of myself to guide me back to myself. She made me accountable, which was really cool. I need that in my life, even now. And so throughout the last 15 years, my biggest project has been me. And there's that constant drive to bring that peace into my life, to choose peace over the chaos. That peace is my natural state. Even as a kid, I used to kind of cry or whinge to go back into my bassinet because, too many people, too much energy, I'm an empath, even at that young age. And so, that beautiful way of acknowledging that and honoring myself, that really empowered me to step into the truth of my worth. Like after all that work, it was like, oh my God, I am worth being happy. And it has been a project. This is like a lifetime. It's like this is what conscious living is that every day I get to choose. And sometimes I might just choose just to sit in the shit. But I'll give myself a time limit. It'll be like, I'm giving myself 12 hours just to be a bit of a sad sack, sit on the couch and watch Netflix. But then after that 12 hours, it's like, nah, come on, big girl pants on, let's hit the road. So it's conscious living. So I consciously choose sometimes just to sit on my ass and be miserable. And that's okay, right? Because that's life. Life is going to be good, it's going to be bad. And it's accepting that and acknowledging that gives us that freedom as well. And so, so attending the spiritual development classes for 3 years just really opened up everything. So from there, I became the Reiki Sashim master level certification, natural energies practitioner certification, angel intuitive course with Doreen Virtue back in the day. I just went to every workshop that I was curious about. I was so hungry and thirsty for more information. So things like singing bowls and color therapy, crystals, and so much stuff. It was amazing. I did study holistic counseling and complementary therapies. practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, and matrix therapies practitioner, which is a similar timeline. Beautiful exercise to be able to clear negative beliefs and limiting attitudes and all that kind of stuff. Really powerful stuff. I got them my certification in ancient Hawaiian Heartworks Lomi massage, which I bring to the healing room, because working on the physical body as well, and the physical aspect of the meridians is amazing to be able to clear all those as well. Intuitive aromatherapy. I did my mental health first aid course. That was during COVID actually, so that was a couple of years ago. And then last year and the year before, last year studied the emotional and metaphysical kinesiology. So again, it's tapping into the body's divine wisdom, which is just amazing. So good, so good. Learned a new healing modality called Abukra, which is channeled from Egyptian, it's an ancient Egyptian kind of modality that's kind of surfaced again. And that's just beautiful, because I already work with Egyptian modality in the Seishing. And then, constantly learning, constantly researching things that I'm curious about, which is really, really cool. And so, like I said before, my motto is getting to know, like, and trust yourself. And so anyone that's worked with me, whether it's in the coaching or whether, healing or just workshops and stuff, this is where a lot of the confidence can come from, because when we know ourselves, we get to like ourselves, and that's the beginning before you love yourself, and then you kind of learn to trust yourself. And so this is basically the core of all of the work that I do. And so in this training, I'm going to unpack actually 5 common ways. I don't know why I put 3 there, my mistake. Oh my God, I'm human. That we consciously or unconsciously use comparison to kill our confidence. So let's nail it. All right. Why stick around to the end? So you've come onto this, you're watching this for a reason. Whether you want to boost your confidence or whether you're just like hanging out with me, you may be in a place where you want to better yourself. You've come to that point where it's just like, oh my God, I've had enough. I'm, sick of being unhappy, or sick of just running on the same cycle all the time, that every day is like Groundhog Day. And you may even be aware that what is holding you back, but you don't know how to move from it. And that was where I was. It was like, I didn't know who to ring. I didn't know who to call. And so, you just may want to gain confidence so that you can just step into your power a little bit more, stand up for yourself better, say no, say yes, to be able to speak your truth, or simply just to be proud of yourself for growing. So I really want to, honor and commend everyone that has shown up for themselves today, because that's a massive step. How easy is it just to go, oh my God, no, I'll do it another day, I can't be bothered, or whatever. Because those who show up and they stick to the end, they are the ones who want to make the change. They're the ones that want to do the things that have to be done in order to create a new life or a new mindset, or whatever that is. And so it is taking action on the awareness that we're going to sort of uncover today. So thank you for showing up for yourself. We all have this beautiful, gorgeous inner child inside us that quite often needs or wants someone to lead the way. And so when we can be the parent to ourselves, that shy, younger version of us, it just helps the journey that little bit better, makes it a little bit easier. And so what makes this masterclass, or this micro masterclass, a bit different? I'm not here to sell you anything. This is me being of service, just to introduce myself into some of the work, how I work and that sort of stuff. This, what I'm going to share with you, this is kind of like, I like to use myself as my own guinea pig. So this is just proven contact that has worked for me and many of my clients. that can just help to pave a way, like a clear path back to yourself, back home to this gorgeous divine soul that you are. I'm just going to turn that music down. Sorry if you can hear that. It's just changed. Beautiful mantras going on in the background. I love that. And so I'm curious for you now. What would it mean for you to feel confident? Like, why have you shown up here? And pop it in the chat screen, like share. What do you want to get out of today? Can you remember a time when you felt really confident? And what was going on for you in that time? What would it really mean? What would your life look like if you could step into your confidence? If anyone wants to share verbally, feel free to do that as well. And so what would your life look like? If you were confident, if you felt amazing, yeah, finding your flow again, Liz, that's beautiful. Stepping more fully into a role of service. Yeah, that's really gorgeous. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Liz. Oh. You'd feel more whole again. Yeah, Carly, you would. Absolutely. To be the best me in the coming years of retirement, making the right decisions for me. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And that's making that right decisions for me. That's, about trusting the self as well, listening to the self, listening to the body. And so, yeah, they're all beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing those. And so I would like to let you know that if you do have any questions or if there's any curiosity that arises from this today, please reach out, because like you, Liz, I thrive when I am of service, and because I know what it's like to feel, in this shitty hole of defeat, or, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to turn, that confusion of just feeling lost and really stuck. That's why I do what I do. And so, any questions that I can help you with, to bring you back or keep you back into alignment with yourself, like that is totally where I thrive. That's my jam. Helping you to create a life where you honor you, you acknowledge you, you have the courage to do you. And obviously that can be achieved in various different ways. And so please know today that all the information that I'm sharing, just understand that this is coming from my perception of what has worked for me, of what has worked for some of my clients, stuff that I've read, that I've learned, that I've done myself. But this is about you and listening to you. And so I want you to take everything that I share with a grain of salt. Some things you might go, oh my God, that's landed and I love that and I'm going to do that. Or there may be things that you go, yeah, that's okay, but I'm just going to tweak it a bit. You've got to play with it. You've got to make it yours. Like, we're all students here. We're all teachers here. It's just like Panadol works for some people, it doesn't work for others. And so take everything, not just here, but in life, take everything with a grain of salt. And just, use it that works best for you. All right, so let's get into killing this comparison, huh? Let us go into how it kind of shows up in our lives. And first of all, I want to bring to your attention recognizing the duality of the world, because like everything, it's got, like a positive aspect to self and a negative aspect to self. So something like comparison, it depends how you use it. So we might be able to compare ourselves with someone else, and we can either use it in a negative way to drag ourselves down, Or we can see the positive aspect in ourselves and go, oh my God, that's where I want to go. Use it as inspiration. And so just know that in the duality of this whole world, that's where the wholeness is having that option and that choice to choose where you're going to go with it. What are you going to do with any information that you get? Are you going to look at the negative side of stuff, or are you just going to flip it around and go, oh my God, how am I going to use this to, take myself forward? And so the first one that I want to share with you, and before we go into that, I just want to say that building our confidence, it can be a really challenging thing. So even if we have, the awareness and the action, we're still in a human society, right? And so we're going to kind of come up with blocks, or things that can kind of throw a spanner in the works. So this is about making it a priority for yourself. If this is something that you really want to bring into your world and change, it's about the dedication and putting in the effort. So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, yeah? So it's the same with any changes that we want to bring into our world. Because it's our human nature to want to see how we measure up in comparison to others, especially if we think that they may be better than us, or they have more of something that we want, and that jealousy can come in. Oh my God, I worked my ass off for that and they've got it and I don't. Yeah. But it's really not good for our nervous system. It's not good for our mental health, to compare ourselves with other people, because we need to acknowledge and embrace that there is no one else like us. No one. Even an identical twin is different from us. Yeah. And so this makes us uncomparable. So why are we doing it? But when you can bring that back home, if you can bring that back to a focal point to go, oh, I am uncomparable because no one in this world is like me. What am I doing? Like, save the brain space, yeah, and the pain. And sometimes it's just easier to feel like we are deficient in comparison to other people, rather than taking responsibility for our own actions, for our own progress. So it takes more courage to be self-responsible and to look at ourselves to see, where we are in the world, what we're measuring up to, our standards, and meeting our full potential. So every single one of us has very special gifts. And because they come so naturally to us, we often overlook them. We haven't worked our asses off. We haven't got the degree or the piece of paper, so it's worthless. And that's just the society that we've been brought up in. But each of us have these divine gifts that we can gift to the world, just to each other, to ourselves. And we're here for a very specific reason. Whether you understand it, the goal is not to logically understand and know it. It's just to step into who you are and allow it just to it happens naturally. So we're moving from a place of being in our heads all the time and trying to understand every little detail, and stepping into our heart and our guts and trusting it. So to compare our lives to other people's lives, we have no idea what is even going on in other people's lives. So the comparison is not even, full of understanding. It's just our perception of what's going on the external world. So is it even true what we're comparing ourselves with, or what we're trying to live up to? Interesting thoughts, right? So comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. And I know that we've all felt these, right? And so we don't want to, we can just go down a rabbit hole if we don't have the tools to be able to pick ourselves up and brush ourselves off. That can lead into depression and all that kind of stuff. And so when you become aware that you're doing that you're pulling yourself down through comparing yourself with other people or the external world, the action that we can take, flip it around. There's that duality, right? What are you going to focus on? So focus on your own strengths and your accomplishments instead of comparing yourself to other people. And this is where journaling is really cool. So we can reflect on, where we were 6 months ago, and that's different to comparing, unless you want to do this positive spin, which is reflection, to where you are now, and just make adjustments. And so when we do journaling, like I know that I have looked back on old journals where, I would complain that I couldn't do X, Y, Z. And now I look where I am now and go, holy shit, I can do that and so much more. Which is really cool. And so, so focusing on your own identity, of your own strengths, and just write them down. And so towards the end, I've just got some little questions that you can ask yourself, some journal prompts, which are really quite cool. It doesn't mean pages of journaling. So doable strategies, doing something, just simply writing down your wins. What did I accomplish today? What am I grateful for today? So that's the first one. The second one, it can creep into our life. So comparing ourselves with our partners or friends or whatever can create a competitive mindset that can be detrimental to relationships. Now, like I said before, with that duality, there's obviously a positive thing where what I said, they can inspire and encourage you to be better. Or if you're in that negative aspect of self, of comparing of where you lack, it can actually be really detrimental to relationships because resentment can build up. You start seeing, all their flaws as well as your own. And that's not got anything healthy to bring into, a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, family, business. And so how can you change that? And this is kind of where I was last week when I was scrolling through everyone's posts, all their accomplishments. It's like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here and, I wallowed. It was great. I only did it for a little bit. So how can you overcome that? The positive action steps you can do. Limit your exposure on social media. Because really, no one posts their shit days on social media. It's like you don't know what happens behind closed doors. We all come out into the world and go, oh my God, my life's amazing. I'm so happy. Everything I've wanted, living my best life. They go home, they go, oh my God, I hate it. So people are going to show up. So, again, take everything with a grain of salt. So any other sources of comparison, the news, the magazines. I mean, society just feeds us all this stuff that just, we compare ourselves. It makes us feel not good enough. It makes us feel worthless. Do you know why? Because then we buy the shit that they are trying to sell us so that we feel good. It's a pattern. And so flipping it, ask yourself, how can I use this to inspire and motivate me? So use them as an inspiration rather than intimidation. Because we're here to grow. We want to grow. We want to succeed. We want to feel confident. So change your mindset. How can I use this to help me get more confidence? What are they doing that's working for them? Or what do I see that's working for them? That can be really, really powerful. It could just be, the color of lipstick that they're wearing, or what they, how they hold their body. The third one, so comparison can hinder our own personal growth because we're so busy focusing on external factors around us rather than honoring ourselves and our own internal progress, our own personal progress. And so the action around this is to practice gratitude. Like, celebrate the small wins. My coach often talks about the 2 millimeter shifts. It doesn't have to be here to here. It's just taking those little action steps on the awareness that comes through. And it can start off as a negative thought. But again, what's the positive flip on that? Oh, how can I use that to inspire and encourage me to do my own personal growth? Because it all comes down, like, our worlds revolve around us. In reality, right? And so be really grateful for the progress that you've made. And this is where journaling helps too. Like I said before, it's like you can go back a few pages or a few years or months or whatever. Just go, oh my gosh, look what I've achieved. Give yourself a pat on the back. The fourth, so comparison often results in unrealistic expectations. And we can view the world from a distorted reality. And so what I mean by that is, if you had a pair of glasses on that had scratches on them, you wouldn't see things clearly, right? And then you put on another pair of glasses that were a little bit tinted. Another pair of glasses that have, cracks in them. And so understanding that everyone is coming and viewing, perceiving their life, their reality, the world, through all these different filters. And everyone's filters are totally different. We're seeing the world through fear, through pain, through worry, through excitement, like everything. So it's really, really important to meet you where you are in each moment. That every single person has their own unique struggles and their own unique journey that we don't understand. We don't have to understand. We've had enough time trying to understand our own journey. Or is it just me? And so remembering that your perception, which you get to choose, by the way, of how you experience life, of how you see life, is absolutely different to everyone else. Could be similar, but all our experiences, we've felt it. It's differently to someone else who's been in exactly the same room at the same time, but maybe in a different mood. So we all take things from the world so differently. So all of our filters are so different. And so when we compare through our own pain and our own filters, is it really true? Kind of true for us. But what are we going to choose to focus on? And so meet yourself where you're at. It's really not productive or fair to us, this divine soul that has the unique gifts, that has something special that no one else can offer. It's not fair to underestimate our role here with our own gifts, our own experiences and insights. We're all so full of knowledge and wisdom, but we have this thing where we go, oh, well, I can't really because it's egotistical, or I feel like I'm a know-it-all, or whatever. Like, that's just bullshit head talk. There's always someone out there that needs what you want or what you have to give. The fifth one, so constant comparison can lead, I was talking about before, mental health, stress, anxiety, depression. So when we compare ourselves to where we want to be and we're not there yet, so we're in the future, that's that anxiety coming in. When we compare ourselves to the past, and oh my God, that's who I used to be, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we can delve into depression. So again, we've got to meet ourselves where we are in each moment. And it can change from moment to moment, to day to day. So we have to be really mindful of our self-talk. Like, how do you speak to yourself? Because our unconscious mind doesn't understand sarcasm. It doesn't understand jokes. Whether you're talking to someone else or yourself, just goes, oh my God, that's right. I am an idiot. Oh my God, yeah, you do look like you don't belong here, or whatever it is. So again, conscious living, like, listen to the thoughts, be really aware of how you're treating yourself. And so the action here to counteract that, if you find yourself you're in a negative headspace, like, go and reach out to someone who you know is going to just love and support you. Surround yourself with positive and supportive people who value you for who you are. And like, I just spent the last 3 days around that kind of crowd, and fuck, it was amazing. So good. I had a bit of a down day yesterday because I'm like, oh, I've got no one to talk to today, no one to share ideas with. Community and being social is a big, big part of who we are as people. It's one of our core needs, is connection. But who are you connecting with? You want to hang out with people who make you feel fucking amazing. So choose wisely. And if there are people in your life who have to be there, just limit the time. Or make a phone call rather than, spending a whole weekend with someone. Honor you. Yes. And so a bit of a summary here. So confidence is knowing who you are. It's liking who you are. And it's trusting who you are, what decisions you make. And so how is everyone going? You can pop in the chat screen. This came up for me. Oh, which bit came up for you, Carly? Sorry, I missed the... Confidence is knowing who you are, liking who you are, and trusting who you are. Yeah, gratitude this morning. Yep, beautiful. Like, gratitude's one of the action steps, right? Automatically changes the state. Beautiful. And I love this because confidence isn't walking into a room thinking that you are better than everyone else. It's about walking into a room and not having to compare yourself to anyone else or justify your reason for being there, because you do you. Because just know that absolutely everyone that you have come across, that you have met in your whole world, has a version of you. So there's like millions of versions of you. And we cannot live up to all of those, right? So the most important version of you is, who are you to you? I'm glad that you're here too, Mary. being around positive people who bring you up, yes, and limiting those who don't, 100%. Like seriously, my friend group is so small because I am all over quantity, quality over quantity. I do not want to hang around people who are just, I don't know, who gossip, because those who gossip to you will gossip about you. I'm full of memes. I'm like the meme queen. But it's hanging out with those people that when you walk away, you go, fuck, that was amazing. I feel really great. Like, how special are those people in the world? I've been doing gratitude practice that focuses on having gratitude for self. Yep. As in recognizing capabilities. Awesome. Love this, Liz. Most nights. Yes, I'm not consistent, and that has shifted a lot for me. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's okay if you're not consistent. Like, please just, when you find yourself falling back into old habits or whatever, just, we're human. Give yourself a break. It's not an opportunity to berate yourself, and pull your confidence down. Just go, oh shit, that's right. Let's get back on track and just start again. Carly, yes, the same. I have a very small group and have cut or limit others as it affects my mental health too much. 100%. I'm so proud of everyone here. You're all amazing, and you're sticking here. You're still here. Thanks. What time are we? Ooh, it's 11:20. All right. And so I wanted to share. So I'm going to share a few testimonials because I freaking love my clients, and I love that they continue to text me and tell me how they're going. And so this gorgeous lady, Lisa, was a pro bono client of mine. And, just her, she'd come to me, she had just lost her job. And, it was really beautiful to be able to remind her how amazing she is, rather than just, for her to fall into this spiral of going, oh my God, I can't do this, blah, 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 blah. And so, like she says, it's beautiful to be able to have the knowledge and the guidance to become unstuck, to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, right? And so the work that I do, it is about reframing the language, the thoughts, your mindset, being able to let things go. We do some beautiful exercises in the coaching where I do kind of, we visit our shadow aspects of self, and we learn to actually use them as confidence tools or lessons or teachers as to what we want to change, how we want to move forward. Beautiful. Thanks, Liz. Feel better. Thanks for coming on. And I always go to source and ask for guidance. Beautiful. Get into loving myself unconditionally. I don't have a lot of support. My support is source. Yep. Grateful for my little group that you run. Yeah, that's beautiful. Liz, fortnightly meditation group has been great. Oh, like circle work and everything, just having something to come together as a beautiful little group. Like I run Monday night circles here, and that's just amazing, just to be seen and to be heard. Again, being around people who love and support you, and just, they're there for you. You can vent, you can cry, you can laugh. So amazing and really, really important. And so, when I was talking about before, this is all about creating new habits. This is about being aware of the mind. What's going on? Where is your focus going? Is it going on the poor me, or is it going on the right? This is where I want to get to. So how long does it take to create a habit? So it takes longer than 21 days. That old thing of 21 days to create a new habit? No, it's longer. So habit formation can take an average to 59 to 70 days, 59 being a very specific number. So according to a 2021 study, it can take about 59 days until a new habit becomes automatic. So it's creating new neural pathways in the brain. And the more you're focused on that and doing the new habit, the deeper the pathway is, and the easier it is for that to become your new default pattern. And further stating that implementing routine-based and time-based cues help to increase the chances of habit formation. And so this is things like putting reminders, next to your hand basin, so that every time you're washing your hands, you just remind yourself of that thought or that new habit, or you do it, you take action on it. If it's about checking into your body, it's like, right, every time I wash my hands, I'm going to take 3 deep breaths and check in. What's going on for me? What's happening? And by doing it, it's the same thing with, meditation and that kind of thing. Journaling, even if you do it at the same time every day, that just ingrains it into your psyche even better. And so the first thing is know, liking, and trusting yourself. The second is having accountability for it. Because we can have all this information, right? But then we can fall off the wagon really quickly. Like, how many times, who's been here on a retreat and had the most amazing insights and the most amazing things? You go, oh my God, I'm going to do that when I get back. And it lasts for about a week. And then you just go, oh, I've missed a couple of days. A couple of weeks go past, oh, I've missed a couple of weeks. And then we're kind of forgotten. And so I know for me, like having accountability, which is why I showed up every week for 3 years to the spiritual development classes. And from there, I've pretty much had a coach or a teacher my whole life since then. So for the last 15 years, which I didn't really realize until I kind of looked at it. I went, oh, because I'm not a very self-motivated person, just to let you know. And I know that that's one of my downfalls, so I'm going to take action on it. And so knowing who you are, so knowing what your boundaries are, what are your values? Know how your ego shows up in your life. Know how to use the ego to teach yourself to be better, to think better. Liking yourself. Get to like who you are. And you can do this by honoring your needs, knowing what your needs are, being honest with yourself, being honest with others. No one can read your mind. Be straight, be honest, direct language with love. Saying yes when you want to say yes to things, saying no when you want to say no to things. Don't make any promises because our state changes. Things happen where we can't necessarily honor our promises. Have integrity so that you can go to bed every night and go, oh, yeah, I'm a good person. I did good today. Nice work. And then trusting who you are. And this kind of falls really easily into place once you've had the awareness and you're actioning the other two. So listening to that quiet voice inside, being aware of what's coming up for you and taking action on that. Knowing yourself so well that you trust your body's signals. And so, it's really important, just to summarize everything, is to focus on and identify your own strengths. Limit your exposure to social media or other sources of comparison. Practice gratitude for what you have and the progress that you've made so far. Meet yourself where you're at every moment, not where you were last week. And surround yourself with supportive and positive people. Now, this divine soul here is just amazing. And when we first started working together, she was not confident at all. She was a very spiritual person, but not done anything with it. She'd not been happy for ages, exactly that, felt stuck, felt lost, all that kind of stuff. I don't work with her anymore, but she sends me texts about her, all the changes in her life when she just decided to honor herself, that she stepped into her truth, that she started to know herself better so that she can make different choices. Like her whole life will probably be totally different from when it was at the beginning of this year. And it's so, so cool because she got to honor and acknowledge what was not working in her life anymore. And we just planted seeds. We just got some stuff going and moving and shaking. She's going to move house. She's going to move to the dream place that she's wanted forever. And for some reason, we just think that we have to be miserable. We don't. We can thrive and be happy and, go for our goals. And a lot of the time we stop doing that because we're so scared of what other people are going to do or say. So we stay miserable for someone outside of ourselves. Whereas how cool would it be if we stood into and took action and did stuff that we wanted to do, which gives permission for other people to go, oh my God, she's living her best life. That's awesome. And so working with this beautiful woman for 12 weeks, honored herself. Like she wanted change. She did the work. And it was just incredible to watch her bloom. Scared shitless at times, but how amazing. Because when we step into the uncomfortable, we do get, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. And so one of our other core needs is uncertainty in life. Like that's where our excitement can come from. So I love talking about Claire because she knew that things were not great and she wanted to do something about it. So she took action and continues to keep action happening for her to, she's creating just such a beautiful world for herself. And I love it. It's inspirational for me. And so for those people that have worked with me before, this is another one of my mottos, is having the awareness. But it's with the action that brings you into alignment with what you want, where you want to go, what you want to feel, who you want to be. Alignment with that divine source of just being amazing, feeling great, loving who you are, knowing who you are. Because we can have all the awareness in the world, but if we don't do anything about it, we're just fucking going to stay in the same spot. We don't want that. And so if this is kind of, bubbled up some, oh my God, I want to do something. So how can I support you? I can support you in all sorts of different ways because I know that one size does not fit all. So I do 12 weeks coaching, which can extend to longer. I've had clients that just keep working with me for that fact of accountability. Spiritual and personal development. And this is like the core of knowing, liking, and trusting yourself, because that is the basis for you living your best life. I run workshops, I run trainings like Reiki and Seishin when I was attuned to that and at master level, changed my life. Just living by the principles, or even just having the awareness of the principles of both of those modalities was amazing, changed my mindset, which made me act in different ways and react in different ways. And then I have other things like healings and the massage, the divine nurturing package, which is in person on the table. So the workshops, getting to know your chakras, working with the archangels. I've got a beautiful workshop coming up where we create a soul statement creation. So it's tapping into your own body's wisdom of what it wants, getting out of the head and creating this beautiful alignment statement so that when you're out of whack or feeling funky, we can come back to this gorgeous statement that just goes, oh my God, for me to be able to go here or achieve this, this is what I need to do to bring it in. It's, that in itself is amazing, life-changing. I do run the women's circle every Monday night. And that's just this beautiful place to come together to share. We do meditations, we talk about a topic. It's really, yeah, it's a really beautiful place. I really look forward to that every Monday. And then I do like a breakthrough day, which is about 4 hours where we go through and we just start removing limiting belief patterns. Really heavy work, but really good. Like, sometimes this stuff can hurt for a little bit until you come out the other side and go, oh, holy shit, this is amazing. And so what I'd love is if anyone's not in my free support and strategies group, it would be amazing if you popped into that group and just shared what your takeaways were for today. Just Emily's Overcoming Comparison Masterclass has been, what have you gotten from this group? The Women's Circle, Mary, is on every Monday night at 6 o'clock. It goes for about 2 hours. And so, yeah, it was just, it's beautiful. Just a beautiful little community. A lot of the girls who are there have been with me for the last year and a half. So it's really nice to have, they keep coming back. So they're obviously getting something. And the meditation itself is just divine as well. And so, yeah, that'd be really helpful, really nice if you can pop into the free group and just pop a little, what you got out of today. And then, so I wanted to come back to duality. I will share the details of the Women's Circle. Yeah, cool. I'll pop it in this group actually. So in the Inner Peace Warrior group, I will pop it in. And I do, so the way that I work that is it is a term commitment, because a lot of the stuff that we share, there's some personal stuff that we share, and I want people to feel comfortable to be able to share, to be able to cry, to be able to honor their emotions in this group. And so I tend not to let people just come and go as they like, because I want that consistency so that people feel safe. So yeah, I will put their details in that group. Thanks, Carly. Ooh, can I create a second one another night? Possibly. So coming back to duality. So we talk about, not comparing ourselves with other people, but I also wanted to bring to your attention to be mindful to avoid comparing other people to us. So one of the best things I ever heard is never expect you from anyone else. And that just landed, I just went, holy fuck, that's amazing. How cool is that? And when we remember this and we stop that expectation of how someone should be doing something or what I would do in that situation and they're not, like no one's right and no one's wrong. Remembering all the filters that everyone's looking through, right? We've all got the different filters, the way that we've been brought up, the way that we've had an experience, the way that everything. So never expect you from anyone else. And there's so much freedom in that when you release, oh shit, I don't really agree or like what they've done, but they're not me. They're going to do it differently. Really powerful statement that just blew my mind. And so if you want to reach out, so my website's there, my email's there, the Facebook page is there. All of us here are probably friends on Facebook, or you're part of my group or part of my page or whatever. Please reach out, because life is too short to feel stuck, to feel lost, to have those rotating thoughts of what the hell am I doing? How did I get here? What happened to that amazing girl, woman, man, boy, whatever, from 10 years ago? Like, what happened to my dreams? Why am I in this situation? So please reach out, whether it's to me or whether to someone, just, help each other. I'm here to help you. If you've got any questions, whether it's related to the work that I do or not, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Because here I am here to support you. Like I said at the very beginning, I am all about being of service. And so however that looks, whatever that, feels like, whether it's in the work that I do or I can pass you on to someone else who can help you out. Like, we're here for a beautiful community, yeah? It's about straightening each other's crowns. And so the more that we work towards becoming more aware of when we're comparing ourselves to others, like I said in that last slide, we need to become more aware of when we compare others to us. And so we're always upgrading. We're learning new ways to think, to act, to be kind to ourselves, to be kind to others. And this is where, when we can feel so beautiful in the actions and the thoughts that we have for ourselves, that's where our confidence can come from. Like, it's really beautiful. It comes from the inside out. The confidence comes from the inside out. How you talk to yourself, how you act, how you react, how you give to yourself. And so I want to remind everyone here that there is no one else in the world like you. And so we need to stop searching for our faults and start celebrating our uniqueness. And not everyone is going to like us or love us. And we've got to be okay with that, because we don't like everyone. Like, there are people that piss us off, right? It's like, cool, that's okay. They can do there, and I'm just going to go over here. And this is where you choose to who you're going to bring into your world, where your energy goes and what energy comes into you. So just remind yourself that you are unique. There is no one else like you in the entire universe. We're all energy. That's what brings people in. And so it's really good to acknowledge and embrace these special qualities that make you the person that you are. And so in that journaling, in celebrating those wins, we have to keep reminding ourselves, it comes from us. It's all on us. And if you don't know what your what your strengths are or what your unique gifts are, just ask your friends. Ask those people that you love and respect. Ask those people who support you, who encourage you. What do you think my good qualities are? Because I'm just having a tough time realizing them at the moment, because we do. Life can get us down. And so if you can kind of keep a list, you can come back to that and go, oh my God, that's right. Tony sees me as pure love. Oh my God, that's really cool. Don't feel it right now, but it's nice to know that someone else can see that in me. And so it's about, yes, loving, respecting yourself. And so how are we all going here? If you want to unmute and share, what's been your biggest takeaway? Like, what's been something that you can kind of walk away with and maybe start to instigate straight away? If anyone's brave enough to share. Sheree!
But just the last few things really resonated, just about, ask people what your qualities are, because deep down, but like you say, you have a bad day or a bad week, and then you question it, you second guess. And and even when people do tell you, you have to really process it and believe it.
Yeah.
That it is true. They're not going to say it if they don't think it. So we have to honor that, don't we? And so that was really good. And And yeah, to celebrate our uniqueness. If I can share just briefly, like I've been having really, days where I'm just crying,
Yeah.
just really just letting it all out. And I think it's now that my children are adults that I've got the time, and this is all coming up now. So, but I get a bit, what does it mean? And it's good to, like you said, to talk to someone, just to, because you get in your head, and then it's hard to get past it. So just to, share that with someone that you can feel safe with,
Yeah.
that you trust. I think that's what I need to do sometimes, than just sit in it for so long and just, yeah.
Yeah. And even if you instigate, a connection and just, set the intent. And so, it is going and just going, oh my God, I just need to talk to you about this. And then you can just go. So it's sometimes people can be in, and I know that I do it too. And I've learned to ask my kids especially, it's like, do you want me to help you or do you just want me to listen?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just
Yes.
a matter of, I just need to vent. I just need to do, because we just meet up for coffee. I just need a different perspective or something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Cherie.
You're welcome.
Uh, Does anyone else want to share what the biggest takeaway is?
Well, I've been struggling with myself,
Yep.
struggling with letting go of a job I've been in for 42 years, nursing. Been struggling with, letting go of some friends that are getting to the end of their life, and my mother. And I've been becoming cranky and irritable.
Yep.
And because I know myself and I've done some work, I know that I'm being cranky and irritable. So I've had to sort of step away from people that I could blow my top at.
I like it.
So, the comparison to others has been huge for me. And you've just said some very simple things, Emily, to just bring me back to who I am and the uniqueness that I am. And I think that's what I forget. So you've given me the strength to go to work this afternoon, to an aged care facility, be in charge.
Yeah.
And you're giving me the strength to say, Mary, you need to check back in with people that are good people. And yes, I think I do need to come to a women's circle.
Yeah.
I'm happy to talk to you about another night, maybe. And I need to do some work, and I was just getting a bit lazy and a bit tight ass with money and a bit, So thanks, guys. It's been really good. And I'm actually not that computer savvy, so I'm lucky I'm even on the thing. Kept sending Emma, where's the link? Where's the link? Can I have to download Zoom again? But yeah, the biggest thing is I will go to work this afternoon, I think, with some love in my heart.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Mary. That's beautiful.
And she's the most beautiful girl, Emily. I just love her. So I just love her. She's just so speaks the truth, and helps her and is of service to other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you, darling, and I'll be in touch during the week. And thank you, other ladies.
Yeah.
It's been good to spend the hour, yes,
Yeah.
or more.
I know.
Thank you. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. That's cool.
Thank you so much. That's beautiful. Excellent.
Wow, you're beautiful.
Oh, thanks, darling. And so, yeah, thank you so much for showing up for yourself, for honoring yourself. As I said, this will be recorded, and so you can watch through this again and just any notes that you've, might have missed or whatever. And so, yeah, it's just really important to know that it's all in here. Like, it all starts with you. It all starts with you. Be really mindful of how you talk to yourself, because that's, and how you treat yourself, which can be really, really hard, especially as women or as mums or anything like that. We're so used to putting everybody else first. And I think it's really important. It's that old saying, isn't it? Put the air, what is it, on the airplane? Put the air mask on you first, and then we can help other people. And so just give yourself the benefit of the doubt that you are worth the effort. You're fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, I just got tingles all up and down my spine, because everyone brings their own beautiful essence and energy to the world, and it's totally different, and the world needs it. You need it for yourself. And so just practice taking action on the awareness. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And please, reach out. Reach out if you need to. I'm here. And have an amazing weekend. Enjoy. And I look forward to connecting to you either in person or on the internet. All right, sending you so much love, so much courage, so much confidence to go out and be your best you, because we need you. So take care. Love you so much. Mwah. Bye for now.